The Iraqi military is claiming a major victory over ISIL. After more than a month-long operation, troops have entered the last area of the strategic city of Fallujah. Susanna George of the AP is in Baghdad.
Iraqi forces have declared that Fallujah is fully liberated from ISIL. This comes more than a week after Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi declared victory in the city after the center of the city was taken by Iraqi troops. But for days after Iraqi troops punched into the center of Fallujah, battles raged with ISIL fighters on the northern and western edges of the city. This comes after a string of territorial victories in Anbar province. Fallujah was one of the last urban strongholds for Islamic State group militants in Iraq, the last remaining after the military gains in Fallujah being the country's second largest city of Mosul. And while Fallujah is by no means safe for civilians to begin returning to it tomorrow, Iraqi forces there are still clearing the city of IEDs, which can be a very time-consuming, slow process. The victory does provide the Iraq's military and Iraq with a much-needed morale boost. It was just days before the Fallujah operation was announced that Iraqi Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi was dealing with growing anti-government protests here in Baghdad. And this allows him to shift attention away from the political and security crisis in the Iraqi capital to then focus on ongoing military operations looking forward to Mosul. Mosul's expected to be a much different fight from what Iraqi forces encountered in Fallujah and Ramadi. It's a lot further away from the Iraqi, presents a lot of logistical problems. Iraqi forces there in the past few months have had a lot of trouble holding on to territory that they've taken back from IS in order to set up a staging base from which they can then start to launch prolonged operations against the city. Susanna George, Baghdad.